I'm the last guy on earth that should be buying stuff right now. You guys have probably seen that I've sold half of my collection, and then I sold half of it again, and I've got rid of a bunch of stuff, but I still have no room for anything, and I just really shouldn't be buying more stuff. But I did clear some space, a little space. I had a little bit of money from the stuff I sold, and I was like, why not? I'm gonna buy a few more things, and I'm gonna show you guys my haul. We've got a few books here. I'm just gonna show you guys 2 books I got, and then we've got a ton of movies. And but these books I got are very important to me. One of them I already had, but I bought this one again because it was signed, and I'm gonna show you. Well, here, this is the one I already had. I already have this book, and I read it, and I loved it. William Friedkin's memoir, The Friedkin Connection, which honestly, I don't like the name of the memoir. I mean, I know it's a play on the French Connection, but it's kind of a cringy title. I don't know if you guys feel me on that, but I will show you guys the signature here, and I will tell you guys why The Exorcist means a lot to me. Of course, I like his other movies too. Here, if you guys could see that, I cannot read cursive. If I'm being honest with you guys, they didn't quite teach us in elementary school, and I think they tried to, and I was like, no, I refuse to learn. So I didn't. But it says to somebody. With my very best wishes, William Friedkin, signed on 4/11/14, which I thought was pretty cool because 4/11/14 is the same backwards and forwards. And then I got this book by William Peter Blatty called "I'll Tell Them I Remember You," which is one of his memoirs. I've read some of his other nonfiction stuff, but have not read this one. And there's the autograph there. It also has, I guess, I don't know, the owner of this book signed their name at the top with 1973, and then there appears to be some other marking there in pencil, but I don't know what they were trying to mark. And then you can see that in black ink, William Peter Blatty signed his name there. So, I actually already had a William Peter Blatty autograph on a book called Demons 5, Exorcists Nothing. I've never read that one. But I had that one, and I got it a while back for like $30. And it was a good deal and all. And I like William Peter Blatty a lot, and I was looking for this specific book, I'll Tell Them I Remember You. And then I came across this copy that was signed, and I got this one for like $35. It was such a good deal. And then I got to thinking, you know what? I need a William Friedkin autograph too. So I found this one, and it came out to less than $100 for getting this one. I love both of these Williams so much. When did I first see The Exorcist? It must have been maybe like 2014 I first saw The Exorcist. And it was cool. I saw it, it was cool. But it really, I don't know, when I watched it like later, after I got into horror more, because this was around like the early time for me getting into horror, and then when I later watched it after I'd seen more horror movies and I was just getting into like writing more and everything like that, it just the movie, I mean, it was already good the first time, but it just kind of like blew my mind the more I watched it. And there's really like a big place in my heart for The Exorcist and for William Peter Blatty and William Friedkin. I look up to both of them a lot. William Peter Blatty, his family was from Lebanon. I'm Jordanian and Palestinian. My family is from Jordan, and they're like neighboring countries, Jordan and Lebanon. And I just really, looked up to him because I don't really see a lot of Arabic people, and really in a lot of the arts in America. I don't really see a lot of Arabic people. And just when I was really aspiring to be a writer, and when I was writing some of my early stuff, I just really always looked up to William Peter Blatty, and I would watch every interview of his I could find. And when it comes to William Friedkin, he's a Chicagoan like myself. As you could tell from all my videos, if you guys have watched the channel, I really love Chicago, okay? And I just always thought, wow, he's just so cool. Like, he's just like me. Like, he's a Chicagoan. And I was just always fascinated by William Friedkin's story of how he got into film. how he was applying for a job, and then he like went to the wrong place, to the wrong mailroom. There was a mailroom that was hiring for one of the news stations, and then like this is like almost verbatim. I'm probably maybe like this is all like within like one or two words of how William Friedkin would say it. That he went to the wrong place, and after the interview, the guy looks at him and says, "Are you retarded?" And he's like, "What?" And the guy said, "We weren't the place that was hiring, but you got the job." And then just from there, he met a guy that I think it was actually a priest that worked in a jail, and he asked him if he ever met anybody that he thought was innocent. And the guy knew one that was on death row, and so William Friedkin made a documentary about it, and yeah, that was how he got in. And I was just always very inspired because he was, from Chicago. He didn't really have any connections, and neither do I, and film is something I really aspire to do, and I've just really always looked up to him. And at first, when I was very young and I found out who William Friedkin was, and I always thought, wow, he was from Chicago. Chicago people, that's like impossible to get into film. And then as I got older, I was like, no, wait, Harrison Ford's from Chicago, and Michael Mann's from Chicago, and Robert Zemeckis, and Jessica Harper, and Michael Crichton, and like the list like goes on. I'm like, oh my god, it seems like half of Chicago's in films except for me. But I just really look up to those two guys a lot. I got to visit the Exorcist steps in 2020. My sister used to live in Maryland, and so we went and visited her, and we were at the river there, and then I was like, wait a second, we're close to Georgetown, aren't we? And it just kind of like clicked. I don't know how I didn't like realize it at first. And then I was like, oh my god, we're like right here in the area. Let's go to the steps. And my family is like, what steps? I was like, the stairs. I gotta see the stairs. And only my brother knew what I was talking about. And we like my family was so annoyed because I was like, no, we had to go like here. I had to see a staircase. Like you had to see a staircase. I'm like, it was in a movie. I've got to see the staircase. So we go to the stairs, and then I get out the car, and people are exercising, no pun intended. They're just running up and down the stairs, and then I think they were annoyed with me because I'm like, I need my picture taken here. And my brother went to take my picture. Now my phone at the time was like old and broken, and so the camera on it, like sometimes I would take a picture and the picture wouldn't show up. So I'm like frantically, because I don't want the picture to not show up, I'm frantically telling my brother like Eli, you've got to just keep hitting it like 100 times. I don't care if it tells you like it took the picture, just click it 100 times because I want to make sure there's a picture. So I'm down the stairs, and he's taking the picture, and here and there, somebody might be in the background. And the one upsetting thing is I was like severely overweight at the time, so you just got like chunky me at the Exorcist steps, and I want to go back one day and take a picture now with how I look now at the Exorcist steps. But since my sister doesn't live there anymore, I don't know when's the next time I'll go there. I only went there once, so. But yeah, so that was a little bit about The Exorcist, and I just really love The Exorcist, and I love these two dudes, and I had to have their autographs. So now I have 2 William Peter Blatty autographs and a William Friedkin autograph. So we got a bunch of movies here, and we got the directed by Roman Polanski box set. I found this for such a great deal. It was like $80. On eBay, and everywhere else is asking like 120 or 110, something like that. But I found some dude that was probably like me, like I gotta get rid of some stuff, and so he was like, $80, please just take it. So I was like, yeah, sure, because I had streamed these movies before, and I really adored all of them. Bitter Moon, Death and the Maiden, and The Ninth Gate, and it also comes with a documentary. Roman Polanski, Wanted and Desired. Now that is a very cringy name for a documentary. Guys, let's just take a few seconds before we name memoirs and name documentaries, okay? If I ever publish a memoir or anything and it's got a really stupid name, okay, you guys are allowed to tell me to change it. All right, but yeah, I love these movies a ton. Probably my favorite one out of all of them is Death and the Maiden, and then maybe Bitter Moon, cause like Death and the Maiden's like a really like interesting and keynote story, and Bitter Moon is just like I didn't even know what to make of it. It was just so like kind of crazy. I was just like I was watching the movie. I was like, I can't tell if this is like actually really stupid or really great. And I got to the end of it, and I was like, it has to be 5 stars. It like blew my mind. I have not seen these in like a year though. I've only seen them once like a year ago, so I might be forgetting like details here and there if I go into specifics. But I really like these. I'm excited. I'm gonna pop these in pretty soon here. And the Ninth Gate is really fun. And next time I watch that one, I'll probably end up putting on the director's commentary because it comes with it on here. Of course, Death and the Maiden. I did end up getting like the bare bones Blu-ray that had no special features, but it looked like the special features weren't that much to write home about. If I look through them here, why don't we take a look at the special features? So this one, Death and the Maiden, comes with an audio commentary by film scholar Josh Nelson. I don't know who this guy is, but there's no film scholar where I'm like, I want to hear their take on this. And then it has an interview with writer Professor Ariel Dorfman. I'm not listening to anything if somebody's last name is Dorfman. Okay, and it credits this person as writer of Death and the Maiden 2024. So I don't know what that means. Was there like a remake of this? I don't know. But it has behind the scenes footage, so I'm at least gonna watch that. That's if it, at least it has like one good special feature, considering the Blu-ray I had was bare bones, but it was like a $5 like thing I got in a sale. Bitter Moon. This one it did have a release, I think maybe from Kino Lorber, but it's out of print, and I was just like weighing the options, and I was like, $40 on this one that's out of print, or do I want to get all of them plus a documentary and some special features for $80? It was a no-brainer. Bitter Moon. Again, with an audio commentary by filmmaker Paul Anthony Nelson. I've never heard of this guy. And film critic Emma Westwood. I don't see why they couldn't just get new special features with Roman Polanski. I mean, they did it for The Tenant. When was that? Like 2020 maybe? And then, it has an interview with actress Emmanuelle... I don't even know how you say her last name. Siegner? I know my buddy's gonna make fun of me for not knowing how to pronounce that. And then, let's see, the Ninth Gate, though. This is the one that's loaded with a bunch of special features. And, of course, this one does have the Roman Polanski audio commentary and... I don't know. You see, it's funny because they were like, are we gonna get canceled if we only put the Roman Polanski commentary on here? Let's get a new commentary. So they have another one with author Troy Howarth and Mondo Digital's Nathaniel Thompson. I'm sorry, guys, but none of these names sound appealing. But it looks like it has some newer interviews and some older special features as well. So. I can't wait to get into these, and then, well, of course, I've got the documentary disc there with an audio commentary by the director and the editor, some deleted scenes and bonus interviews, and some archival interviews and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I can't wait to go through this. The guy included in here like the little card, I guess, that came on the back, like when you take the plastic off, that lists all the special features. I don't know if that's in focus or not, but I'll put it there if anybody wants to see that in depth. And it also comes with a little booklet, and I don't know what's in the little booklet. So that's the directed by Roman Polanski box set. So I dig those movies. I'm going to watch them. Next, we've got 2 separate hauls from Disc Replay. I'm going to go through one haul first, the one you guys haven't seen, because if you guys saw the vlog I did, you guys already saw the first haul, so I'll show you guys this one first. We'll just continue with Roman Polanski here. We got Knife in the Water. It was $10, but you know, this was there were no special features on this. I was a little upset. I think from what I saw, I only did a tiny bit of research. I think there's just the 1-disc set, and I think the 2-disc set has the features on it. And no features on this one, so then I was like, oh, why is it $10? But it was, you know, there's worse movies you could blind buy for $10. It was a good movie. I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd. I thought it would be more of a thriller. It really wasn't. More of a drama, but nonetheless, it was a good debut movie, which was a complete change-up, because I just watched one of Brian De Palma's earliest movies, and let me tell you guys, I was disappointed. Brian De Palma, sometimes I really think he like sold his soul. Like by the time he made Sisters, because anything before Sisters has just not been good. And then like the majority of them after Sisters are like excellent. I love Brian De Palma, my favorite director, and I was watching Hi Mom, and then the other day I did see Murder a la Mode. Pretentious name again, guys. We got to cut it out with the pretentious names, but neither of them hit really, and they were both awful. And yeah, so I was just really disappointed. I was like, this can't be the same guy that wrote Blowout and Dressed to Kill. So it was just good, is what I'm saying, to see like somebody have a debut feature or an early feature that's really good. And then we got 2010, the year we make contact. This movie is one of those things with like with the Psycho sequels, how you're like, wow, but like Psycho 2 in particular, I'll admit it's been a while since I saw 3 and 4. I know they're a little bit lesser, but they weren't completely unwatchable. But Psycho 2 is like the best one. So this was like something like Psycho 2, where it just has no business being that good. Like going into Psycho 2, you're like, okay, like a sequel to a Hitchcock movie, let alone like his best movie, possibly his only good movie. It's like it's just got no business being that good. And you go into Psycho 2, you're like, oh my god, it was incredible. Same thing with a sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey. You're like, no way. Like 20 years later, I think, or when did this come out? Was it like 20? Yeah, like close to like 20 years later. You're like, yeah. There's no way like a sequel is to 2001 is gonna be good. 2010, it was actually like very good. Actually, I had a good time with that. Then we've got Blue Valentine, which honestly, I don't know. I think I just saw somebody on Twitter the other day say, oh, it's a good movie. Or maybe it was somebody on Instagram said it was a good movie. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I'll take a chance on it. And yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I might move it up in like the list. I always tell people when they recommend me a movie, like, I'll move it up in the rotation, not list. I'm always like, I'll move it up in the rotation, right? But then I realized, like, I don't have a list. I don't have a stack. I don't have a rotation, really. I'm just, okay, what am I in the mood for today? But I don't know. I might watch it soon. I'm interested. And then this was a pick from my buddy Drew, and that's Annie Hall. So, yeah, never seen it, and I don't know what it's about. I've never seen a Woody Allen movie. And then, let's see, this was all, you guys would have seen this stuff, though, if you watched the Disc Replay Hall vlog, whatever. We've got Bad Lieutenant 2. I've never seen this one, but I do like the first one. We got Freddy Got Fingered, and every time I like type out Freddy Got Fingered in the text, it always wants to change it to Lingered, so Freddy Got Lingered. 99 Cents, The Prom Night. Remake, reboot, I don't really know the difference, guys. Reimagining, I don't know how any of those work. We got Walk the Line. We got The Stepfather. We got Taking Lives. I've never seen any of these, by the way, so I'm going in blind to all of these. And we got Straight Outta Compton. So yeah, guys, that was the haul. I cleared out enough space. I made a tiny bit of money. I was like, you know what? I could afford to get some cool things. So I bought a few cool things, okay? So that is like my cool things haul. And yeah, guys, thank you all for watching.